Coach, the team is in a familiar spot right now, the most of the last decade. By week 6, the margin for error for things like conference championships and playoffs have disappeared. You're in a gotta win them all kind of thing. How do you reflect on that?
You know, right now we look at it as we're 3-3. We know very well in the back of our minds we could very easily be 5-1. If we would have probably done a couple things a little bit better. So I think there's still a confidence that we have. We're still a confident football team. We know that we can go out and play. We have a confidence that we can play with anyone. I think that shows on game day. You know, we just got to finish all 4 quarters off. And, you know, we still had a couple turnovers creep up again last week there that, you know, we weren't doing earlier there in the year. You know, and turnovers are always a contributing factor usually to wins and losses at the end of the day. So we've kind of tightened that up a little bit. And, you know, this team, it still has confidence. They still feel good. They practice great. Their spirit's great. Their attitude is good. They're coachable. I mean, I really enjoy being around them. I mean, some people would think, well, you're 3-3 and, you know, how could things be that good? Well, these guys know that they're really close. They know that they're really close. And I think there's an accountability factor that's taken place here. You know, coaches, players, staff, I mean, we're all accountable to each other. And we openly talk about that, you know, all the time. In meetings, we talk about it. On the field, we talk about it. And we're not afraid because we know at the end of the day, we're all family. And it doesn't matter, you know, the way people perceive it. We know that we're accountable to each other and we're going to hold each other accountable. And I think that's why we've been able to develop so fast team chemistry. It's because there is accountability and we're all accountable whether you're a freshman or not.
Eric, is that your message? Just keeping the gas pedal down for 4 quarters?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just, it was an exciting game, you know, except for the end. But, you know, to sit there and watch it, you know, we had to go put a score on the board. What do? Go put a score on the board. You know, after we fumbled one out of the end zone, most teams run out of gas right there in this tank. Defense comes back, 3 and out, boom, we get the ball, drive down the field, put a score on. Okay, we missed a 2-point conversion. All right, you know, come back, stop them again, get the ball, drive it down, kick a field goal. Think you won the game. Got a pretty good chance to win the game, and we just didn't come away with the win. So, you know, it's not like we're getting into the 4th quarter there and game's over, we're done for the day. You know, we're resilient. I think we know how to handle adversity halfway decent. We just gotta do some little things a little bit better right now, which we all know they are. But I feel good about, you know, where we're headed.
Is it part of this the team's still maturing?
You know, I think, you know, if you probably look into it, you probably could say, you know, there's a bunch of transition that's taking place and new things going on. But, you know, I mean, we're not into that as coaches or players. We just don't make excuses. You know, you can manufacture some excuses and probably say that's probably a reason. But as players and as coaches, we're not going to accept that. You know, I told Watts and Bellamy yesterday, you know, we just, you know, we're going to work. We're all accountable to each other. We know that's not going to happen again. And the good thing is they don't take it personal. You know, I mean that's what families are. You know, your mom and dad say something to you, you might take it personal for about 5 minutes, but at the end of the day, you know, they know you love them, and these kids know we love them. You know, we got a tight group, and you know, a couple losses aren't going to splinter us. I can assure you that.
Coach, is that the silver lining? You mentioned that you feel like this group is close and close to getting there, but it's self-inflicted. So I mean, that's got to be encouraging for you.
Yeah, I think it's probably harder on me as a head coach a little bit because you just constantly, you know, just replay everything in your mind, but you got to move forward. And when I get back around the kids again, I actually feel better. They make me feel. Our players make myself and our staff feel better. because you know why? They're so competitive and their spirit is so good. I mean, who would expect after what we had happen to us the last 2 weeks, come out Monday night and have a spirited, fun practice, guys flying around having fun? You wouldn't think that, but we did, you know? And it's not made up enthusiasm. I mean, I think we're still having fun. I think they know that we can make a run here at the end. It's just a matter of going and doing it. We have the potential to make a run, you know, and we just got to go and do it.
Is this a must-win, do you think, based on what's happened, the heartbreaking, setback? Is this a must-win?
I think our backs is definitely against the wall. You know, there's 4 teams in the league got 1 loss, 4 in the league got 2. You look at, you know, there's a bunch of teams from basically ranked 10 and below that have 2 losses, 3 losses. So, you know, this thing's still, I think, wide open. But I think, you know, we're in a situation where I told our guys that, you know, we're a little bit like North Dakota was coming in here last week, a little bit like Missouri State the week before. 2 losses in the conference, better not lose any more. Doesn't mean it's the end, but you're flirting with danger.
Can you talk about, I mean, Western Illinois and us, just the fact that they've been able to rebound from last year?
Well, Western Illinois, the biggest thing I see is that quarterback. You know, he's playing outstanding. He only has 1 pick on the year. They're number one. They're number 1 in so many categories. I can't even remember them all. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like 10+ categories statistically. Offensively, they're number 1. Defensively, they're number 1. And coaches, I mean, you know, come back off 1-10 and put his team in a position they're in. And realistically, they came back and had a chance to win last week, and came up short. But you know, they're a well-coached football team. They've got talent, and their players are playing with a confidence factor. They come out and they start fast. You know, they come out and start fast. So and they're back at home again. You know, after a long road trip there. So you know, they're a good football team. What coach has done is a great job. I mean, we were talking about evaluating the offseason. Were you surprised that they started so well when you looked at what they did? Well, I played Western Illinois a couple years ago when I was at Illinois, and I thought that their coaches did a good job. When Coach Patterson was there, same staff, those same people, and they did a good job. And you know, Western Illinois, when I think about, you know, teams, they're one of the teams that's always been a tough, good football team in this league. You know, they've always lingered, you know, around 6, 7, 8 wins in there, and you know, last year was just an off year for them, but the quarterbacks come back and played unbelievable. I think they probably got one of the better offensive lines in the league when you evaluate them from tackle to tackle. I think the quarterback's playing exceptionally well. You know, last week they had 2 receivers over 100 yards, so they're playing well there. Like to run the football. I mean, I watched them line up and run the football against North Dakota there, and watched them run against. You know, the thing is with them is that they're able to get in 2 backs and run the ball, and they also spread you out and run around and throw it, and run it also. Defensively, they just line up and say you're not running the ball, basically. You know, they got a very unique scheme that they run on defense. It's very similar to a flex style defense, and they got a guy they call a leatherneck, and he's leading the league in tackles. He's got 66 tackles. He plays back there at about 7 yards, and he roams free, and basically he makes a whole bunch of tackles for him. You know, I think he's averaging about 11 tackles a game. So, you know, and then, you know, pass defense wise, they just line up and they know they're going to get some kind of pressure from the front, and you know, press you up a little bit there, and they've done a good job.